Okay, for example 8, we're graphing a reflection of a logarithmic function. So reflections of the parent function. So the function f of x, which is equal to negative log of base b of x, it reflects the parent function about the x-axis. It has the domain 0, infinity, the range negative infinity to positive infinity, the vertical asymptote x equals 0, which are unchanged from the parent function. And if we have the function f of x, which is equal to log b of negative x, then the parent function is going to reflect about the y-axis. The domain is negative infinity 0 and has a range negative infinity to positive infinity and a vertical asymptote where x is equal to 0, which are unchanged from the parent function. So the how-to is basically repeated of what we just said. So if you're multiplying by a negative, again, the vertical asymptote is still going to be x equals 0. You're going to plot whatever the x-intercept is, and then reflect the graph of the parent function, whether it's about the x-axis and the y-axis, and then draw a smooth curve through the points, and then state the domain, range, and the vertical asymptote. So if we want to sketch a graph of f of x, which is equal to log of negative x, alongside its parent function, we're going to include key points in the asymptote on the graph, state the domain, range, and the asymptote. Now, if we look at this graph, since negative is being multiplied by x, this tells us that the parent function is going to be increasing when b is equal to 10, since that's the base. And we also know that we're going to be rotating it about the y-axis, since the fact that x is being multiplied by a negative value. So again, the base is 10, which is greater than 1. We know that the parent function is increasing. Since the input value is being multiplied by negative 1, then the function is a reflection of the parent graph about the y-axis. Thus, f of x equals a log of negative x will be decreasing as x moves from negative infinity to 0. And the right tail of the graph will approach the vertical asymptote x is equal to 0. And the x-intercept is negative 1, 0. So this is the parent function. We have an x-intercept of 1, 0, and then we have another point on the graph which is 10, 0. So now reflecting it, we get negative 1, 0, since the x-coordinates have to change opposite signs. We have negative 10, 0, and you can see it's a decreasing function.